Hello and welcome to the Special Collections and Rare Books Department at Ellis Library. What we have for you today is a medieval manuscript from around 1433. So, as you may suspect, this is not the original binding of the book. This is a replacement that was done in 2006 in order to compensate for the original one. I'll show you that in a moment, you'll see why. But it is also very nice because it has been deliberately designed to mimic what the original was. These points right here would have been bosses that were in the original cover. And I will show that to you in just a moment. All right, folks, brace yourselves. This isn't going to be pretty. This is the original binding. And the design may be familiar to you, but the state of disrepair hopefully is not. Here are the points where all the bosses were. This is a very old binding. It's had a rough life, and that's one reason why we keep it. We keep it here in a box next to the original. It is a nice sort of testament to what can happen to a binding and how long wearing a binding is, because up until, as I said, 2006, we were still using this binding for the book. All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up. So this reads, Incipit Liber Soliloquorum Sancti Augustini Episcopi. In English, that means here begins the book of the Soliloquies of St. Augustine the Bishop. And this is very common practice. Medieval books usually don't have title pages. Instead, they have the incipit, here begins, and then you provide whatever the title is. And this volume contains both books of St. Augustine's Soliloquies. It also contains his manual and a hagiography of St. Augustine. It also contains a poem that is attributed to St. Bernard. And this is very common practice in the Middle Ages. Many manuscripts contain works by different authors. Here we are on the first page. Notice this large initial. This is very common in the Middle Ages to decorate the first letter of an important section, often a chapter. And you may notice here are these black discolorations. Those are rust stains from the original cover. So we're quite pleased that we've been able to rebind this. And here is another initial, and it starts the next chapter, and here it's red. Doing alternating red and blue is very common. You may also notice that here we have some red text. This is called rubrication, and it's just like initials, it's a trick to make certain areas pop visually so that you know where you are, so that as you are looking through the book, you can easily find your place by saying, oh, right, I know that I'm looking for the chapter that has this over text. Right? You may also notice as we move through the book that it's a single continuous block. We don't have a lot of wasted space. It's because paper, and this is written on paper, was quite expensive. Parchment was even worse. And so as a result, you really wanted to make everything count, but you also wanted to leave nice open margins in case somebody wanted to make some notes. And in fact, if you will allow me to just skip ahead a little bit, we're about to find something where somebody did make a note on page 88 that is really worth taking a closer look at. I'll let you enjoy the suspense for a moment. It's this thing over here, and we're about to take a closer look at it. This is a manicule. Manicules were a very common annotation practice in the Middle Ages and in the early modern period. You would draw a hand that was pointing at something that you thought was interesting. We hope that you've enjoyed this short video and that perhaps it has inspired you to come take a look at this book yourself. It and many treasures are kept here for you in special collections.